Hello, welcome to game 3 of my match against Lechatonnoir. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that close to correctly. I asked them how to pronounce it, and they were slightly more vague than I would have hoped. So, what's our plan here? Armory, not nearly as powerful as Inventor. Not going to do that same stuff. Probably not going to buy Armory here, although with Fairy, you could potentially use Armory to gain cities. Spice Merchant is our trashing, so I think we're going to want to trash with Spice Merchant. That sort of dissuades me from wanting to use Storyteller for draw, because Storyteller doesn't do a whole lot when you've thinned out all your coppers. So that being said, there's no way to trash curses or estates, and because there's no way to trash curses, that pretty strongly incentivizes me to want to go towards Swamp Hag. Yes, you can put Fairy on something and then Armory gain. So I could put Fairy on City and then Armory gain cities. And maybe I want to do that as well. But I think getting into the Swamp Hags fairly early, trying to get one in play every turn, and then maybe you pick up an Armory that way. So they Fairyed City. So is their plan just to go City, 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 City? I can't really let them like completely dominate the city pile, I guess. This kingdom is village limited. Like if I lost the split 6-4, but I had the Swamp Hags and I got them some curses along the way, that could be useful. You also with Seize the Day can try to catch up on the split or get further ahead on the split. But I guess because I don't want them to win the city split, I'm just going to follow suit. I was leaning towards silver. When I start to green, I basically want my deck to be mostly, some cities, a couple hunting grounds or journeymen, some Swamp Hags, the Spice Merchant will still be around, and then maybe we've got an Armory or two, some settlers. Okay, so they're going Fairy Armory, I guess. Seems reasonable enough that I'll follow suit. I don't like not opening the Spice Merchant, but if I was player 2, I definitely would have played this out differently. We'll see. I did notice immediately that you could Armory for cities, but I didn't think it would be your opening strategy. And because we're doing this thing, I guess we're just going to have a city race. This feels bad. They gained a Spice Merchant to the top of their deck. Yeah, I can do that now myself. That lets you move through the deck faster, play the Armory more often. They only hit 2, though, which is odd. It seems difficult. How do you only hit 2? I'm not sure. I'm just going to continue my plan of grabbing cities. As terrible as it seems. I may hit my own 2 here. Actually, no. I can gain and play an Armory. So I can play a city, play Armory for Armory, play a city, gain and play a city, or gain a city at least. Is that good? I mean, once the city pile is empty, you've got 2 Armories in your deck now, and you move your Armories over to start taking something else. Again, guess I'm going to follow suit here. I'm not super sure how I feel about this strategy. Faithful Hound versus Settlers. I don't think you're going to have the terminal space for Faithful Hound, and you can discard it, I suppose. So you can play Journeyman and name Faithful Hound, but it's just sitting in your hand. So it seems like the Settlers is going to be a better play, even though we're going to run out of coppers somewhat quickly. I say that and they're immediately able to play it, but they're not going to be able to play it on into the game once we've filled up our terminal space. Wow, this is quite a nice turn, though, that they're able to get off of it. So they're now going to win the city split. No, they were not able to find another copper. And again, these estates look bigger. And I've unfortunately got to activate their cities here. Not the end of the world. They are first player here, so not unreasonable that they should be ahead. Looking back 2 turns. Oh, I bought a settler 2 turns ago. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. You're not. We're almost never hitting 4 on some of these. We could consider playing the Spice Merchant as. That's quite a nice boon. We could consider playing the Spice Merchant for coins buy to hit that seize the day stuff. The Bard is also like, so now they've got 2 armories, 2 Faithful Hounds, and a Bard. So that's 5 terminals. What do they have in their hand? Faithful Hound, 4 coppers, 2 estates. So they've still got terminal space, but I'd rather my terminal space be used on like hunting grounds or swamp hags. To be honest, swamp hag seems like a pretty good card to add at this point. The way you get around that is you ferry whatever you want to buy and then you armory for it, which costs no buys, but you feel pretty sad. Man, they're taking a lot of terminals that aren't swamp hag or hunting grounds. I think now when I get the chance, I'm going to ferry hunting grounds and add a couple of those. We also have more villages, I guess, with the bustling villages, and I believe those will probably get revealed before too long. So I played 2 cities. So my bottom 3 cards all cities, so I can do some gain and play stuff myself. And I might grab one bard just because there's some nice boons. Definitely take a copper. So play a city here. Yeah, I think I'll grab 1 bard. There's a chance I find. There's a chance that I find Earth's Gift or something nice. Gross, though. This is quite sad. I've got 3 cities and my Spice Merchant down there. If I saw either of those, I've got a decent chance of drawing around. Top deck a copper, and I'm just going to buy a Swamp Hag naturally. I won't be able to gain them this turn, but not much else I can do here. Something I can do potentially is ferry and seize the day. I would need to get plus buy off of Spice Merchant, which is possible. I don't think it's possible, actually. I can seize the day, though, and then maybe gain the last 2 settlers and then seize the day and ferry and gain. It doesn't make any sense. The goal would be like you buy ferry and seize the day on your main turn, and then your seize the day turn, you can then use armory to gain some bustling villages, get some more village effect out of that. Bottom decking both my cities and my Spice Merchant. It's quite unfortunate. I could have done what? I could have used the Spice Merchant for plus buy last turn when I had 5 money. And, if I had not gotten the worst boon, there were multiple good boons. Mountain's Gift is usually the worst. So, although on this kingdom, the money was helpful. So if I'd found the Spice Merchant, I could have used it for either draw or plus coins buy. So they've gotten into the bustling villages now. They did not get a swamp hag into play, which means there's a little bit of room for me here if I can do some stuff with swamp hags myself. Maybe that should have been coin buy to do the thing I just said. Yeah, maybe that really needed to be coin buy. So I can armory for a Spice Merchant, play the city, do coin buy, and put ferry on bustling village. Is that worth the extra Spice Merchant in the deck? I think it probably is. Ferry sees. I won't have a Swamp Hag in play on their turn, though. So that sort of heavily dissuades me away from wanting to do that. Bottom 2 cards. There's settlers down there. Is there a settlers down there? I think there's a settlers down there. There's another armory down there. So I just play the armory and hope to draw into it. I could also get another bard and see what effect that gets me. So I really want to have the Swamp Hag in play on their turn. Although if they're Yeah, oh, they didn't even buy a Swamp Hag, they just ferried it. Okay, so they haven't gained their Swamp Hags yet. I assume they'll gain and play Swamp Hags next turn. So perhaps I will just ferry Bustling Village on my turn. And buy something else. So it feels slightly awkward to do it this way, but +1 card is nice. Although I think we've decided I don't want any more. I'm not quite sure what I want. So this is coins buy. Yeah, I don't have any way to ferry. I could buy a Swamp Hag and seize the day, but that doesn't really solve the problem that I have. The bottom card of the deck is a copper, I assume. No, it can't be a copper. It must be a Settlers. So the only question is, do I want to play? Do I want to play the Armory as something and gain something, or do I just want to pass on that and put Ferry on Bustling Village, buy a Bustling Village? If they seize and buy 2 Bustling Villages, they're going to get a bunch of curses. So I'm not super concerned about that. I could gain 1 silver, I guess. I've got a ton of good cards here. I don't think my risk of dudding is that high if I do that, especially with the two Spice Merchants. So, Ferry and Bustling Village, buy a Bustling Village, and hopefully gain and play 2 of those. Yeah, gain and play a bunch of those with Armory next turn. Although my starting hand does not look great. Having the Swamp Hag in play feels really nice, especially if they try to do fairy stuff. They can't really get away with it. It looks like they had a dud, which is not great for them. What they don't know is I have possibly have a similar dud, or looking if I don't find. I have 5 cities, Bustling Village 6, 2, 8. So I've got 8 cards I can find to continue on in 16. The 2 buys were not worth the risk. What did they buy last turn? Bustling Village Journeyman. They took Field's Gift as well. Wow, so they just didn't buy anything. Okay, play the city. Play the city. We're off and drawing. I'll play the... Oh, okay, so I can Armory gain Bustling Village. Play that. Armory gain another Bustling Village. Take that for cards action. Okay, so here I do not have a Swamp Hag in play. I don't even have one in the deck right now. So I would like to gain and play a Swamp Hag next turn, if I can, to keep them in bad shape. The other thing I just do is buy a Bustling Village and a... if I play this for coins buy, I have 7 and 2 buys. What's down there? 3 cities, 2 bards. I can also seize now, so Bustling Village seize, and then I could ferry Swamp Hag and seize, and do it that way. I mean, I'm still leaving them with a seize, but the idea would be that their seize turn they have stuff in play. The other thing to consider is they've got 2 armories, so if they can gain and play armories, but their deck doesn't seem in that situation yet. And when so I think Bustling Village and seize is fine because I'm going to activate my cities, right? I had not thought of that. So I can buy Bustling Village and then seize, and then on my seize the day turn, my cities are doubly activated. So, oh, that's quite nice. I can get one of those. Play some cities. So I'll play the Bard first. Yes, that was the best Bard, because now I can take the Settlers, take the Copper. So now I look for pilots, right? So Armory, 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 draw, draw, Armory, 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 Armory. I am short a coin for provincing, so let me play one. I'm short a bit. Okay, so now Armory, 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 Armory. I can draw that. Armory, Armory.
Cards, action, city, armory, 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 etc. Okay, so that one went pretty well. I'm happy with the way that went. Obviously, got the win. Activating the cities right before the armory was good. Having the Swamp Hag in play caused them to pass some buys, but I think they had a bad dud there, which I feel bad about. And we move on to game 4.